Grimrock manner.
Are we talking the real Santa Claus or some dude dressed as Santa Claus?
What do you think?
No one needs the sarcasm,
Griffin teased, poking my side and grinning as I shifted away from his hand.
If you're a bad little girl, you won't get anything good for Christmas. I'll get you a lump of coal if you're not careful.
His jovial attitude about Christmas gifts, something he brought up regularly, did nothing but extend my foul mood. What did you get me?
I'm not telling you that.
You have to.
Why?
Because... Should I tell him I'd bought him only 2 small items so far, and neither was worthy of consideration as a true gift? Would he want to know that I was floundering so close to Christmas?
You haven't bought my gift yet, have you?
He sounded amused rather than hurt, which was a good thing. That's what I told myself anyway. Sometimes it feels as if Griffin can see into my soul. Some people might find it romantic. I find it beyond annoying. I don't know what to get you, I admitted. This is a stressful situation, and you're not helping matters. Griffin licked his lips, clearly debating how to answer before opening his mouth. I could see the decision made by the way he furrowed his brow.
How is this a stressful situation? We've been dating for quite some time now. You should know what I like. Just get me a shirt or something.
I made an exaggerated face, affronted. Did you get me a shirt?
No.
Why?
Because I didn't want Jerry to smack me around for picking a color that washed you out.
Griffin's grin was impish as he stroked the back of my head.
Baby, it doesn't matter what you get me. There's no reason to work yourself up over this. Just pick out something simple and call it a day.
That's not how Christmas is supposed to work, I grumbled, rolling to a sitting position. When Griffin first suggested we buy a recliner for the living room, I had my doubts. Recliners seem dated and always remind me of sitcom dads. From the moment Griffin brought the recliner home, though, it had been our favorite piece of furniture. We spent most nights curled up on it together so we could watch movies or simply talk about our days. It was nice. Now, though, the proximity the recliner forced upon us felt stifling. I want to get you the perfect gift. Instead of having sympathy for me, which is what I expected, Griffin snorted and shifted so I had no choice but to roll back on top of him if I didn't want to fall out of the chair. It's not funny, I protested. I've been to every store in the area. There's nothing that you'd like.
I find that difficult to believe,
Griffin countered, moving his hands to frame my face and making sure I could look nowhere but at him.
I'll like anything you get me because you got it for me. That's the way this whole relationship thing works. I'll buy you something and you'll like it no matter what. And you'll buy me something and I'll do the same.
It sounded practical, and yet it didn't quite fit the series of Christmas scenarios I'd been running through my head for weeks. What if I buy you golf clubs?
Why would you buy me golf clubs?
Because men like golf.
What kind of strange golfing men have you been hanging out with?
My father and brothers, I answered, serious. They all golf. Do you think they're not going to make you golf when the weather breaks? That's not how it works. Griffin snickered, genuinely amused.
I would love golf clubs if that's what you want to get me. They seem a little expensive for items I'll use only once or twice a year, but okay. If that's what you want to buy me, knock yourself out.
What if I want to buy you a shirt and you don't like it?
I will like any shirt you buy me.
He seemed convinced, but I knew otherwise. I bought Jerry a shirt that says Dorothy on the streets, Blanche between the sheets, and I know he'll love it, I offered. What if I bought that shirt for you? It took Griffin a moment to run the saying through his head, and when he realized it was from the Golden Girls, he couldn't stop smiling.
Did you really get that shirt for Jerry?
I nodded.
He'll love it,
Griffin said, resting his hand on my rear end and giving it a fond squeeze.
As for me, if you want to give me that shirt, I will wear it. Around here on the weekends.
So you won't wear it to work? Is that what you're telling me? Even though you're supposed to love whatever I get you for Christmas, you're saying you won't love that enough to wear it in public?
I know what you're doing, and it won't work,
Griffin warned.
You can't punish me because I've been done with my shopping for a month. You're a woman. You're supposed to love shopping.
It's painful, I muttered, burrowing my face into the hollow of his neck. You're very hard to buy for.
I'm easy to buy for,
Griffin countered.
You're just making this harder than it has to be. I shouldn't be surprised, because that's what you do. But I refuse to feel guilty for being a good boyfriend and buying you a ton of perfect gifts.
I knew he was joking, but felt a shudder of dread course down my spine all the same. A ton of perfect gifts?
Just call me Santa Claus.
Griffin kissed the tip of my nose, ignoring my discomfort and wiggling his hips.
So how did the other Santa, your Santa, die?
He went outside during a break and decided to take a whiz on the dumpster behind Oakland Mall, I replied, listless. He had a heart attack and fell against the dumpster, hitting his head.
That kind of bites,
Griffin noted, making a face.
Did the cops find the body?
I shrugged. I have no idea.
You didn't call it in after the fact?
Griffin was horrified.
He might be out there for days until someone finds him.
That's not part of the job, I reminded him. I just suck and run.
You suck, huh?
Griffin's expression turned from annoyed to amorous.
Come here and give me a kiss.
I was instantly suspicious about his attitudinal shift. Why?
Because I want a kiss.
Fine. I blew out a heavy breath and inched higher, pressing my lips to his. Griffin sank into the exchange, making eager sighing noises as he cupped the back of my head. Happy? Griffin nodded.
I love you, Aisling.
The naked emotion on his face caught me off guard. I love you too.
In the end, that's the only Christmas gift I need.
He pressed another kiss to my mouth, this one softer. There was no urgency behind the exchange this time, just sweetness and comfort. I finally allowed myself to relax and sink into the kiss when the front door of the townhouse burst open. I jerked my head in that direction, expecting mayhem and imminent death, but instead found my best friend, Jerry. Dressed in red pants and a green sweater, a white scarf haphazardly tossed over his shoulder, he barely glanced at us as he scuttled into the room.
Don't mind me,
he called.
I won't even notice if you go all the way. That's how busy I'll be.
He headed straight for the shopping bags at the end of the couch and started rummaging.
Who says go all the way anymore?
Griffin asked, amused. He didn't appear to be bothered by Jerry's appearance, or the fact that he didn't knock, so whatever Christmas spirit had overtaken my boyfriend was clearly powerful.
Only the cool kids,
Jerry replied, pulling out several packages of tinsel.
So, I decided to go with purple and silver. It won't clash with your decor. Not that you've done a lot of decorating since you moved in, mind you. And it matches Aisling's eyes and looks lovely with her hair, despite the new bangs, which I can't decide if I like. Well, those are the important things,
Griffin teased, amused.
What's all the tinsel for? To decorate your townhouse, of course.
Jerry's expression was dark.
What do you think it's for? Do you think because I'm gay I dance around in it or something? No.
Griffin widened his eyes.
I was merely asking what the tinsel was for.
He uses the feather boas when he's dancing, I teased, groaning as I struggled to a sitting position and focused on Jerry. Seriously, what's the deal with all of the decorations?
It's Christmas.
I know that.
You need decorations for Christmas.
Jerry pressed, his annoyance surfacing.
Bug, this is your first home where you haven't had someone to decorate for you. When you were a kid, all of the servants at Grimrock Manor did it. When you lived with me, I did it. Who was going to do it now?
I honestly had no idea how to answer that question. Between my mother constantly showing up, and I was sure occasionally stalking me, And Griffin